What's up, guys? Got a little tip for you. I was cleaning out my trapping building a couple weeks ago. I keep all my trapping stuff, my duck hunting and goose hunting decoys, my layout blinds, and this thing was so full I couldn't even come in here. Just walk in the door and turn around was all I could do. I cleaned it out, and all the hay off them layouts and stuff was covering the floor. Swept all that out, and I thought I'd lost them. I hadn't saw them in 2 or 3 years. Some Duke number 3s. I've had these for a long time. These are the first big traps I bought. Bought them for beaver trapping. Bought them. Actually, my dad bought them for me when I was about probably 14 or 15. But I was going to show y'all. I went ahead and base plated them. You know, your chain normally is over here on these. I base plated them. And on these Duke number 3s, I'm sure they're still that way. I ain't looked at none or bought none. These are the only ones I've ever had. But they come with a circle pan on them. And sometimes that circle pan, you'll get caught in between these levers and not allow them levers to come all the way up, and that pan will have them hung. I don't like that. What I done, I took the pan off some number 4 Dukes. I put expander pans on and put on here and fixed that problem. See, there's plenty of clearance in there now. That'll keep my jaws from coming up like that. I'm sure you can buy just the pans. But if you're just getting in trapping and you buy some of these, I would recommend getting some of those and putting on there. But you ain't got to. I mean, I run these for a long time until I thought I lost them. And they work alright. But that's just one little pet peeve I don't like about them, is having that circle pan and your chain being on the side. Base plate them, throw that on there, and they're a pretty good trap for the money. I mean, if you're just getting into it and you're wanting some coyote traps that's bigger size than a 1 3/4 number 2, these is definitely worth the money, especially with a couple of little modifications like that. But just thought I'd show y'all that, and about all I got to say about it, I guess. Oh, I also welded my J-hooks shut on the ones up at the trap. One down on the bottom I don't ever weld shut, but these up here I do. Because sometimes these get messed up in the field down here on this, and I don't want to have to carry a set of bolt cutters around to fix that. I can just take my J-hook pliers and take it off, put a new one on. Another thing I want to show you, I'm not big on smaller traps, but last year I caught several gray fox. A lot more than what I normally do. Saw a lot more fox sign. I think they're really starting to make a comeback. And I saw these traps and I figured, well, I'll get them for them fox, and because I got them 1 3/4 bridgers and they do a great job. But I wanted just a few more to have a few more, and I'll use them on bobcats too. Got some wasps flying around my head, but I'll use these for coon and fox, bobcat. But it's a Montana 1 1/2. Now I hadn't ever had none of these traps, but I seen them and they was for a pretty good price, so I got me I don't know if I got a half a dozen or a dozen of them. But guys, the jaws are thick. These things are really strong. I mean, they got super strong springs in them. I got 3 swiveling points. I got one right here. Got a mid-chain swivel, one on the end. I mean, this is a very heavy built 1 1/2. I mean, I was very surprised when I got them in and got to looking at how well built they was. Well, they're higher than Dukes, but man, it's a better trap by far. But if y'all are wanting some 1.5s and you don't mind paying a little more, I'd look into some of these Montanas. Seems like a real good trap. But just thought I'd show y'all. I got some dog proofs the other day. Never tried them. I've never heard nothing on them. If any of you guys has ever tried these or know anything about them, let me know. Because for the price, I'm willing to try them. I got a dozen of them for $90. And that was with shipping. So, I had to try them. But they're Diablo, something like that. I don't know how you pronounce it. So, maybe y'all can see that. Well, it's going to be backwards for y'all. But, it seemed like a pretty stout trap. Now, I'm playing around with them. If somebody finds some of these and won't buy them, I'm going to show you something that I did figure out. When you set that thing, if I can show y'all. Well, can't really get it in the view very good. When you set it though, what I've noticed is there ain't really nothing you can move it real far back and forth. What I notice is when I go to latch it on the dog, if I do it straight, as soon as I let off, that thing will fire. But if I put the latch onto that dog on an angle, it'll hold it. It won't fire on its own then. I don't really care for that, but I'm hoping it won't matter. I hope it'll still do good and it won't fire when a coon just barely touches it. But like I say, for that price, I'm going to try them. One thing I do like about this trap is it's got a clean out lid on it. Open that up, see all the way through it. That's one thing I do like about these, or I ain't used them anyway, so I may not like it once I go to using them. But you know, your dog proofs get nasty and they're hard to clean out. You'll get soaking wet using power washer on them like I do, but I really like that. The one thing I for sure don't like though is the way your support stake is. These are, where I trap most of the time, the ground's pretty hard. And it's hard to get these in the ground. But for that price, I'll deal with it. So, you know, these traps like this, have a stake like that, a sport stake, those work a lot better around here. I can really get them in there. I was looking at this one, it's still got bait in it. I forgot to clean that back out. A couple months ago we had something killing our chickens. I set a couple of these, try to catch it. Still don't know what it was. I set these, killed 2 of our chickens and got some eggs. I set a couple of these. So we put our chickens up in a shed I built for them. But there for, I don't know, about 2 weeks, we just started letting them roost out in the trees and stuff. Well, something got up there and got to get them. Well, I set these, set them, didn't catch nothing, and didn't have no more trouble. So I don't know what was going on there. Most of the time, an animal gets a free meal like that, they'll stick around, but I don't know. Oh yeah, I forgot what I was talking about. Them are real hard though to clean the bait out of. I forgot to clean that and back out before I put it back in here, but oh well. That's what I'm gonna like about these, is they'll be a lot easier to clean out with that clean out door on it. But if anybody's used these, let me know how y'all like them. I'm hoping they'll be alright. For the price, I mean, I don't reckon I can gripe too much, can I? So the other day, I was over at Jeb's, Okie Cable and Trap, talking with him and stuff, and he had got some of the Duke 550 Pro Series in. And I looked at them over pretty good. And before season, I'm probably going to get me a half dozen or a dozen of them to try out. This is an MB 550. And guys, just by looking at them, they're both, well, I mean, if you've run these 5 MBs, you know how well built these are. Heavy duty. That Duke 550 is just as heavy duty as this is, it seemed like. Just playing around with it there at Jeb's. I mean, now who knows though? It may be cheaper metal or something and may not hold up as good. May rust up way worse. I don't know. The only difference really I could tell was the pan. You know, MB has a round pan. The Duke has a square pan on it. That's the only really difference I could see in them. But I'll definitely be getting some to try. I'm willing to give them a shot. I mean, I want to say, don't hold me to this, but I think he's selling them for $175 a dozen. I think. Now, I saw a lot of guys griping about it, but I've seen a bunch of guys, well, I'll pay $20, $30 more for a dozen and get the real deal. I agree. I mean, you can spend some more and get the real deal and not have to worry about it. Which you just buying a dozen or two at a time, it ain't really going to affect you that much. But somebody wants to go and buy, let's say, 8 dozen. That $20, $30 adds up real quick. But I'm going to give them a try. I don't care. But another thing I'm going to have in this video is a little clip. Jeb had some buffalo heads over the skull. And I didn't know he sells them. But I thought that's pretty neat. So I put them on. Made a little clip there. But pretty neat deal. I've saw buffalo, you know, out in fields and stuff. But I hadn't ever really paid that much attention to them. Them daggum things got a big old head on them. I mean, I knew they was big, but I didn't realize how big they was. But he's been selling them for a while. I never even knew it. But, and if you're interested in buffalo skull, you may contact him. But I'm going to try them and see what they're all about. It's like when they come out with square jaw, I got some of them, and I had trouble with the D-rings on them straightening out on me. So the 550s, Duke 550s may have some little problem like that. Maybe not, but they might. Got a little tip for you too. The other day a guy called me. Coyote's been getting his chickens. Wanted me to come set some traps for him. I get out there, well, let me back up. I put everything in my bag, my D-Walk bag I carry. Get my traps, load everything up. I get out there. He shows me around the pasture. He had some 3x3 or 4x4 square fence up. Try to keep animals out. Well, we look around and everything. I find a couple spots where them coyotes coming through the fence. And find some good choke down points for them. On, how do I describe? His pasture, he's got it all mowed. Then about 15 yards from the fence out, it's real thick, but he's went through there so much with his side by side and stuff. He's got trails through there, and it's got them coyotes. They ain't gonna go through all that thick stuff for the most part. They're gonna come right down that side by side trail, chokes them down. You pretty well know where they're gonna come from. But I pick a couple of them, go to make my sets, dig my trap bed out, and I forgot one vital piece of equipment. Well, actually two, but one was in my truck. I just forgot to get it out of my toolbox. It was my hammer. He had a hammer there with him, though, so didn't have to go back to truck. But the other piece of vital equipment I forgot, my sifter. So guys, when you're in a hurry, before you leave the house on a day like that, if somebody calls you, make sure you got all your equipment. Got pretty lucky though. Out in the middle of that field, he had been mowing it where he's got his little chicken house deals. And I just took a bunch of that cut grass and put them over my traps. Because I made all flat sets anyway. But I had good intentions on putting a burrow set in, because I've been out there before and I knew there were some little hills out there. I was wanting to put one of them in because he had found part of one of the dead chickens. I was going to make a burrow set and throw the rest of that dead chicken in there. But I didn't have that sifter, but like I say, I had that grass, so I made some flat sets and I went ahead and used that chicken. I put a disposable stake to it, and up in that grass was about 2 foot tall. Off the edge where it was cut, put my trap, and then back in that grass I staked that part of that dead chicken down right there, and I kind of covered it up where it couldn't be seen good, and then just sprinkled that grass over that. But when you're in a hurry, it's easy to forget stuff. Just make sure you got everything, because it'd been bad if I'd got out there and been out in just dirt. Wouldn't have been no grass or nothing. I'd been sitting there doing this, sifting dirt. But what's up, guys? A little quick tip here. I hope y'all can tell it. Right there's that tall grass, and it's real short on this side, and then on the other side it's short. Them coyotes, they'll hug that edge right there on that tall grass, because your birds and your rabbits and stuff are going to get in that thicker grass. Them coyotes will hunt that edge. A lot of times you'll have a coyote on this side and a coyote on the other side, and they'll trot down through there and scare that rabbit or whatever out, and they got one on each side and they can get it caught. It's a real good location when you find spots like that. Just thought I'd show you all that.